Howdy, y'all. It's the Cowboy Drummer.
Say hello to the Cowboy Drummer, man.
I'm back with a quick video today, and I'm going to show you how to install your snare wires perfect every single time on any snare drum. It doesn't matter. This will work all across the board. If you play drums, you might know that those snare wires can be finicky. They can just be kind of a pain to get them in the right spot, but there is a trick to it, and I'm going to show you. So especially if you're a beginner drummer and you don't know much about your snare drum, this will be a good video for you. Or if your current snare drum just doesn't sound that good, it might be because of the snare wires. We're gonna replace the bottom head, replace the wires, and I'm gonna show you how to do it perfectly every single time on any snare drum. But we're gonna use this beautiful SJC Alpha aluminum snare drum that I'm actually giving away. I teamed up with Sweetwater and SJC, and they gave me this drum so that I can give it away to one of you. The giveaway runs for the whole month of April 2024. So if you're watching this in April, hit the link in the description and enter for the giveaway. You have just as good a chance of anyone to win this thing. Let's swap out these snare wires, and I'm gonna show you how to dial it in perfectly. Let's go. First thing we're gonna do is take off the old snare wires. Let's pretend this is our brand new snare head, even though this is the exact one I just took off this drum, but it's brand new, so we're gonna use it. The bottom snare head is really thin, so it can stretch pretty good if you crank it too tight. So we don't wanna get it too tight, but we definitely want it kind of tight, because the tighter it is, the more sensitive the snare sound will be. And when you're doing ghost notes and tapping lightly on the drum, you can really articulate those little snare drum sounds a lot easier. So we definitely want to have this a little bit on the tighter side. Every snare drum is going to have these components in some way, okay? They kind of look different, but you're going to have a throw off, and you're going to have this screw. This down here is where our snare wires connect. This screw at the top adjusts how far up or down this plate is. You'll notice when I loosen it, you can see it dropping down, which would loosen your snare wires. So when we install the wires, we don't want it too far down, but we don't want it too far up. We want to find the middle somewhere. So I'm going to leave it about right there, because that looks about the middle. We don't want to start with it being too loose or too tight. We just want to find somewhere in the middle where that screw isn't too long and isn't too short. Even if it's a little on the tighter side, like 65 or 70%, that's fine as well. Let's flip it over, and then we're gonna go to the butt plate, which is the other side of the snare drum. There's not much going on over here. This is just where the other end of the snare wires connect to. And this is the side we're gonna install first. So let's get our snare wires. So what we wanna do before we tighten this, we wanna line up the snare wires so that they're almost at the edge of the snare drum. Not all the way, but not too far in, just about right at the edge of the inside lip of the drum, right here. Once you have it right at this spot at the edge, you can tighten this all the way, and this side will be done. So let's crank this down. Now if we flip it, this is the important side. This is how we're gonna get it perfect. Remember, we have that screw at 50%, so it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's right in the middle. Now we're gonna install the wires on this plate. Before we tighten this down, make sure the throw off is all the way off. So now we want to take our wires and get it pretty tight. Just pull it all the way and then tighten down these screws, but not all the way. Just get them snug. See how I can still pull it? So they're not all the way tight. They're loose enough for me to still adjust it with my hand. So that way, when I push this down, you'll see this strap move a little bit. See that? Now tighten these down all the way. Now it's fully tight, so it's not gonna slide in that plate as I put the throw off on and off. So now let's flip this thing over and get it on your stand. And you're gonna notice that it's already gonna be in a really good spot just from what we've done. So I'm gonna have a good snare sound automatically. Just like that. Remember how we had this at 50%? You have some wiggle room. You can go a little looser or a little tighter because we didn't install it with it all the way tight or all the way loose. I like to just tighten it a little bit from here. And there it is, it's perfect every single time. So that is it. The main thing is make sure you have that screw at about 50% before you install your wires. Line up the edge of the butt plate, tighten down that side. This side, get a little snug, close your throw off. You'll see the strap adjust into place and then tighten it down. If you do this method, it'll always leave you at a good starting point and then you can adjust your wires from there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Follow me on social media. I appreciate your guys' time and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.